I'm Angus Davies, and today I'm with MeisterSinger here at the Watchmakers Club. MeisterSinger are based in Munster in Germany, and what's special about the brand is that they make single-hand watches. I'm actually here with John, and John, I just want to ask you a little bit about what you think makes MeisterSinger special.
What MeisterSinger making special is that time is not so important.
Okay.
That there was the other moment there was somebody, it's important to know the time. No, it's more important to enjoy the time.
Okay.
So, and MeisterSinger is getting back, or is going back to the heritage of time.
See, I mean, for me, as somebody who's worn MeisterSinger, I know what you mean in terms of, I think people obsess too much about the seconds, and really we just want to know the rough time of day.
Right.
And your watches accurately tell me the hours and minutes, but you don't obsess about seconds.
Right.
And that's part, it's sort of this sort of relaxed, calm persona, which is basically, comes across loud and clear.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things that I find quite interesting about your watch is that you have one hand, and it's actually, in most cases, showing both hours and minutes simultaneously. Mm-hmm. And initially you think, when you look at the watch, I'm looking at this watch here, for example, and I'm thinking, oh, that seems counterintuitive. But actually, it doesn't take long to get very used to it. I mean, literally it's minutes, and all of a sudden you get it, and it's very easy to use. And it does become sort of just second nature to look at the dial and immediately read off the time.
Right, yeah.
But they look different, don't they? And you, I think some people, they're going to either get MeisterSinger or they're not, but personally I'm a fan, because I look at it and it's different. It's not like everybody else's watch, it is different.
Yeah. And that's the most important part about MeisterSinger, of course, that is different, that it has its unique character, but it also gives our wearers another perception of time.
Yeah.
And that's perhaps one of the biggest efforts of the brand, that we are able to let the consumer think differently about spending their time.
Yeah.
And of course we are a commercial organization and we want to sell watches, but on the other hand, if we can give people a feeling, a philosophy of not always so stressy, but also enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Because most people they forget to enjoy the moment.
And this, I mean, you've got your logo is the fermata symbol, which is like a pause symbol, effectively.
Right. Yeah.
So, and it's just about pause, reflect, enjoy, isn't it?
It's about, sometimes we human beings, we are always busy to chase something we never can catch.
Yeah.
And that's time.
It took me till my 50s to realise that.
Right. So, but very to our enjoying what we hear now is that especially also younger people are starting to think like that.
Yeah.
They say, no, it's good to work, it's good to work hard, but it's also good to have that look into time, that not everything is about spending money and earning money, and sometimes cool down.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment. Because in the end of the day, if you are earning, let's say on one day, 1,000 euros, or you spend the next day a very nice dinner with your family, in 10 years time, what do you remember? Earning the 1,000 or enjoying that moment?
Yeah.
And our life, our quality of life is based on the fact how many good moments we have.
I mean, one of the things is, for those people who don't like the idea of a single hand showing hours and minutes, we've also got this watch.
That's a jumping hour.
A very sporty watch, and you basically got the single hand showing minutes, and then you've got jumping hours. And I personally like the theatre of it jumping to the next hour. I mean, it's quite a cool watch. But this is a special watch, isn't it? Isn't this limited edition? Is that right? Or?
This is limited for 150 pieces. It's our skeleton jumping hour.
Okay.
Because you can see through the dial, you can see how the jumping hour module, which is developed by us, is functioning.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's an amazing watch. And in terms of your technical prowess, one of the things that you do have is this movement, which is your own movement.
Yeah,
it's made for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's automatic. We've got the oscillating weight. But it's got this lovely motif on it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's slightly, am I right in saying it's slightly open worked, isn't it? You can actually see through the weight as well.
Right. And it has 2 barrels.
Yeah.
Power reserve of 5 days.
Wow. Okay.
And although we don't point out the time exactly by the minute and the second, yeah, you notice a MeisterSinger, okay, it's roughly 10 past 10. When people tell me, yeah, but I find minutes very important, then I always ask them the question, when is the last time you made an appointment at 13 past 10? Okay, I rest my case. Because then they start thinking. But in this watch, we have 2 barrels. Power reserve 5 days. Normally you can also do it with 1 barrel. But we do it with 2 barrels because in our opinion, if you have 1 barrel, the watch runs a little bit too fast in the beginning and a little bit too slow in the end.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a good value.
Yeah.
But with 2 barrels, you minimize that effect.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, it's more complicated to do, but we do 2 barrels because we are still a watch company. We are still producing watches, and a watch must be as accurate as possible.
Because basically what's happening there is that the amplitude will remain constant for longer.
Right.
Yeah. So it's great. Okay. And I've deliberately come to this one last.
Yeah.
I was at Basel a few months back, and this is your new bronze watch.
Right.
What makes it interesting for me is that it's your number 1 model, and the number 1 was the first watch. Am I saying? Where your partner Manfred Basler, your business partner, basically designed this watch. This is now in a bronze case. But what I like about it is, and I'm showing a bit more geekiness, a lot of bronze cases, they've got that sort of premature patina. They age too quickly, and they've gone a bit green, and they look a bit a bit old, if you like, too old. This is actually, it looks fresh. It doesn't look like it's aged. It will acquire a little patina.
Of course, yeah, it must be.
But you can pull it back by just literally a wipe over with some Coca-Cola, as I understand it, and that will bring it back to...
Or just a silver polishing cloth.
A silver polishing cloth
will also do,
But it's very warm, isn't it? And I personally think it's fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
And in terms of the movements, all your watches, the movements are made in Switzerland, is that right?
Not all our watches.
Okay.
We have a line called the Urban, which has a Miyota movement.
Oh, okay,
which is a lower price entry.
That's very keenly priced, isn't it? I was looking at that, but it looks like a MeisterSinger. It's still a MeisterSinger,
It looks like a MeisterSinger. It is a MeisterSinger, but of course it doesn't look like the Swiss-made line.
Yeah.
There is a clear difference in it, and with that line we want to attract, and we want to make our brand more an entry level for people buying a mechanical watch. Don't care about Swiss made or Japanese or whatever, but want a mechanical watch.
Yeah.
And with that, we can pull them into our brand, and then later on, they can buy a Swiss made.
But Miyota is part of Citizen. It's made by a Citizen, as I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, they're held in high regard in terms of reliability. They're not pretending to be high-end watchmaking, but they're a good basic movement.
If it was not quality, we would not use it. That's quality is also number 1.
Because I was going to say, quality is one of the pillars of your brand.
Yeah.
Another pillar has got to be design, and your designs are superb. And one of the things I spent time with Manfred, Manfred Brasler, the founder of your company, and talking to him, he does the design work, and he's inspired by Bauhaus and sort of brutalist architecture and things like that. And he has a passion about Audis in the 1980s and things like that, and taking styling cues from there. And that comes across when you look at your product. Your products, the design is very clean, very efficient. You can immediately read the time. There's no what I would call clutter. There's nothing there that is superfluous. You look at the dial and you say, there's nothing extra superfluous that is confusing things. It's what it needs to be. Not too much, not too little. It's just perfect. And that's what I personally like about the brand,
thanks. That's also our objective. We want to be it as less as possible. Of course, it must be functional. So if we have a day-date watch, it must have a day-date ring. Otherwise, it is not a day-date watch. So then it will get a little bit busier. But also at that watch, as minimum as possible.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing. You did shock me a bit at Basel with some of your novelties. You know, just like I really felt some of the pieces were great.
Yeah.
It's like, what next? You know, what are you guys going to come up with next? And I don't expect you to tell me what your secrets are. You know,
but I'm already sure. I know what we're going to deliver next year. You will be surprised.
Okay, I look forward to it.
It will be something unique.
No, I look forward to that.
Like the brand.
Yeah, you're not conventional, and that's what makes you attractive to me.
Right.
So, John, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.